it was a big secret that I always carried around with me. In fact, it was, I guess, it was a dirty secret, and I never told anybody.
Good evening. The RUC has said 26 people have now died in this afternoon's bomb in Omagh. 5 of the victims died in hospital. The dead include women and an 18-month-old child.
The Army Gazelle is still lying in a field in... It was a day in which the world watched the most disturbing television pictures ever to emerge from Ulster's troubled history.
Married with 4 children and was originally from
England. It ripped a hole in the side of the vehicle.
Meant that many people were evacuated from the courthouse end of the town and inadvertently walked straight into the path of the bomb.
I found myself in the army in September of 1987. I was 16 years of age and I was what was known as a junior leader. When I was in training, I would hear a lot of the corporals talk about their Northern Ireland experiences. I remember one day we were travelling down to the ranges and it was the height of the Troubles. And one of the corporals, we were sat in the back of the Land Rover, said, "Have you noticed that car's following us? You've got to realise that we're in a green vehicle, there's a car following us, it could be an ambush." And from that moment on, I thought, Northern Ireland is a real prospect. Then the reality kicked in. I joined my company, which was A Company at the time, and I started patrolling the streets of Northern Ireland.
For decades, the IRA waged war against the British government. They were at the centre of a bitter conflict which has cost thousands of lives in Northern Ireland and on the mainland.
During my time, it was October 1990, I was patrolling in a place called Strabane, and that's when I was involved in an incident. And the incident really happened at sort of a tea time. People were coming home from work. It was cloudy, it was dark, and I always remember smelling lots of coal from the coal fire burning coming out the chimney. I was in a fire position, and all of a sudden I hear gunfire, and it's automatic fire from an AK-47. But the really crazy thing was, I heard this gunfire, this bang, 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 and I didn't do anything. It was just weird. It just, you had the noise of the cars, but then all of a sudden this gunfire. Then I heard it again. So I went up to my brick commander or team commander, because he was stopping cars at the time, and I said, you know, I've just heard gunfire. And I remember he looked down onto his radio, because he would carry a radio around about chest height, and he said, through the radio, "Contact, wait out." So we started running towards the contact. So as I was running, I cocked my rifle, and that meant there was a round up in the chamber, and you're ready to kill somebody. So we get to the scene, and this car has been rammed off the road. I remember looking in the car and fumbling with this door handle to try and get this man out. But the real crazy thing is, I remember looking up and everything slows down, because in this heightened state of alert. I remember looking around, I remember this other guy in the patrol reaching out for an intravenous drip. And the team commander said, "Look, it's too late for the intravenous drip. He's dead."
Ex-UDR soldier was killed Saturday in a suspected IRA attack. He was shot dead after his car was rammed off Melmont Road in Strabane. Police and army units are searching for the culprits. No arrests have been made.
So I'm stood at a street junction looking at this vehicle with this man inside it who'd been murdered. and a car pulled up, and the window wound down, and this guy said to me, he said, "Is that my brother?" And I said, "I don't know." But deep down I knew it probably was his brother. Then I remember not long after that incident, we ended up in a place called South Armagh.
Good evening. It's been called bandit country, and with reason. South Armagh over the years has, even in Northern Ireland terms, had more than its share of violence and lawlessness. It's a risky place to be if you're a British soldier.
I think it was an Orange Day march. So we landed in the Wessex to go and police this Orange Day march, but we got separated, and I remember getting chased by this guy with an axe. Now, there's no way you think, oh, I can just shoot somebody chasing me with an axe, because you're surrounded by a load of other people. So I remember just sprinting towards the helicopter that was landing and just rejoining my team. The incident that happened in Northern Ireland always stayed with me, and it was a big secret that I always carried around with me. In fact, it was, I guess, it was a dirty secret, and I never told anybody. And it wasn't until 2011, it took that long, that it really did start to rear its ugly head, and it was almost like a ghost story. I kept seeing images of this man at night time. It was at night time when it started really happening, when the light would reflect on a window. When I was driving, I would even look in the passenger seat. I couldn't look into mirrors. I'd turn mirrors around. I'd imagine him there, or actually see him there. And I remember one day I was running on a treadmill in the gymnasium, and he was there on a row machine. It was this constant, just images, and I'd get upset about me fumbling on this door handle, and be upset about taking so long to say anything. And I guess he was always there, preoccupied.
For decades, the IRA waged war against the British government.
I could quite easily go back to this sort of Northern Ireland mode, the smells, the sights, the sounds, which isn't good, because if you keep hold of these images, you're going to stay in this dark place and not move out. So the post-traumatic stress disorder will never, ever go away.